俺が手をつかされた。あんなガキに。二度と僕たちの前に顔を出すな。面倒な。
They're badass, yet no one knows it. Yet, that is. Hello guys, it's Animan here, and today we're going to be discussing the top 10 anime where the main character is overpowered, but no one knows about it. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel, and click the bell icon, and set us all to be notified about our latest videos. Number 10. Gonna be the Twintail. Twintails, the glory of all mankind. Or at least, that is what first-year high school student Soji Mitsuka believes. At school, Soji spends most of the time daydreaming and rating girls' twintails, even going as far as creating a club dedicated to the hairstyle. His obsession does not go unnoticed, however. When monsters from outer space attack Earth and claim the world's twintails for themselves, a strange woman named Twirl enlists Soji to fight back using twintails of his own. By transforming into the twin-tailed warrior Tail Red, Soji fights against the vicious alien organization known as Ultimegyu, whose main goal is to colonize Earth and steal everyone's spiritual energy, or attribute power. Alongside fellow twin-tail fighters Aika Sube and Arena Shindu, Soji must find a way to defeat the invading army and defend the twin-tails he holds so dear. If you don't enjoy perverted jokes and constant porn references, this is not your show. This is a show created to mock the present state of anime, especially the magical girl genre, and it heavily exaggerates perverted scenes in order to make a point. Try not to take this show too seriously. Number 9. Sacred 7. I never imagined watching this, but when I did, it was awesome. Alma Tandoji lives a lonely life. One day, Ruri Alba, a girl accompanied by her butler and maids, visits him. Knowing the power of Sacred 7 is latent within Alma, she asks him to lend her his powers. However, he refuses and drives her away since he injured many with his unusual strength in the past. Meanwhile, a fiendish darkstone creature suddenly appears in this peaceful town, in the Kanto region. Only Alma's power of Sacred 7 can fight against it. But Alma just lets his power run amok and things begin to get worse. Ruri raised her gemstone in order to release his true abilities. My soul I give to you, with Ruri's wishes engraved in it. Will Alma be able to defeat the Dark Stone? Sacred 7 starts off awesome and keeps a moderate pace going the whole way. For fans, it breaks up the monotony of other anime, and just when it's getting awesome, it ends. But that's what's great about the Sacred 7. It ends on a high point. It doesn't keep you guessing with gut-wrenching suspense. Anyone looking for something new should give it a watch. Number 8. Night Wizard. Night Wizard, a term given to those whose mission is to protect the world from impending darkness. Renji Hiragi is one such night wizard who is constantly called on missions, even though all he wants is to be able to go to school and graduate. However, his latest order was to protect Ellis Shiho, who is a new transfer student at his academy. Being dragged into the astronomy club by Renji's childhood friend, Kureha Akabane, on her first day at school, Ellie soon realizes that she too has the power to become a night wizard. After possessing one of the 7 sacred jewels, the Jewel of Kindness, along with Renji and Kureha, Elise now begins her fight in her new life as a night wizard. Night Wizard is no way a great anime. It somehow ended up as one of my favorites, and for one little reason. And it's so simple too. The plot is a straightforward one that is reminiscent of an older anime where yandere characters were but a far away thing. And Lolly was not a genre of anime, where it was the hero versus the bad guy on a mystical quest. Night Wizard is exactly that. Number 7. Aokana, 4 Rhythm Across the Blue. In a world where people have flying shoes, there exists a sport that's called Flying Circus. Basically, you touch 4 poles as fast as you can, or you whack the opponent's back, or you prevent the opponent from doing so. Not really much of a premise there. This was pretty much a sleeper hit. It was a really outstanding show from start to end considering it was based off of VN. Instead, they dropped the romance and made it all about the sport and the girls. which was a very good approach. Character development was surprisingly well done. All in all, if you are looking for a light-hearted sport anime, this should fill that palette of yours. Number 6, Tsugumomo. Okay, so it is a usual supernatural themed story with something naughty to it. It leaves us audience in such imaginative conclusions of some of the things that were being hinted by writer Ryoichi Kuraya, but the plot itself rely heavily on the main character getting his ass kicked by a cute yokai, where at the same time, she also does some perverted acts that we guys can only imagine. At first thinking this was going to be an arrow harem, when I saw a clip on YouTube, boy was I wrong. Fun characters, great action, interesting story, and nice animation and art. Who wouldn't love a show about a boy being protected and guided by a piece of his deceased mother's clothing? Number 5, World Break. Aria of Curse for a Holy Swordsman. It is up to people who have awakened their memories of past heroic lives to stop the monsters, or so they say. The only ones who actually use the past life plot device are the main character and his 2 initial love interests, in order to justify instant infatuation and not really incest. Not a thing is mentioned about anyone else. The story progresses as Moroha, our average unremarkable boy, becomes self-insertion, fantasy incarnate. At the beginning we get the "I awakened to a stronger power and won" cliché, only to turn him into a monster-slaying god. He has enough power to become the 7th S-rank survivor in the world, 2 weeks after awakening his powers. From there, it only ramps up the achievement ladder. The main character kicks ass on levels. That's more or less the background story, with the show centered around the main male character who turns out to be one of the strongest, with a harem of girls. Number 4, Witchcraft Works. The story is about a normal boy going to school as always, but then one day the school's most popular girl starts to interact with him. After getting to know her, he learns of her identity as a witch. She tells him about the special being inside of him and starts to protect him from danger. The story is pretty simple in the beginning, but after a while it gets a little better, but it's not anything special. There are pretty cool fights sometimes, but they don't really go in depth with the story, so don't expect anything extraordinary. An attempt to enjoy Witchcraft Works will be difficult if you dislike the main male protagonist, Takamiya. Even many characters in the series dislikes him for his normalcy and dullness. Also, expect the expected, as most of the story will feel like a predictable trifle of what you may be used to for its generics. Do not expect major plot twist or deep characterization. This is my personal opinion though.
Takamiya-kun, homeroom 始まるわよ。姫様。襟元乱れてる。
大丈夫だよ。
こら、動かない。誰かに乱暴されたの？もし高宮君に危害を加える相手がいたら、ちゃんと報告するのよ。そいつ、燃やすから。
Number 3, Munto series. The story revolves around Yumemi, a normal girl who has a secret power in her which allows her to see the world of the magical beings who live in the sky. In that world, Munto, the king of the magical kingdom, is in a constant struggle in order to save his people from various different crises, who mostly revolves around the world's energy source, the Akuto. Munto seeks Yumemi for help to save both worlds who are in danger. On one side you have the peaceful humans, and on the other side are the magic-using war-hungry heavenly beasts. Friends trusting each other seem to be a reoccurring theme in the plot. It's not your standard fantasy story with demons and rescuing a maiden though. The story requires you to pay attention. Not all concepts were explained properly, but that was okay with me since it didn't stand in the way of having fun. Number 2, Tokyo Majin. A group of kids have their spiritual powers awakened and begin a fight against other supernaturally gifted youngsters, manipulated by a single enemy. They each gain different weapons and begin learning as they go while others had training. Some had intuition to figure out their power and get their mentors to teach them. There are vessels for the evil to inhabit, and guardian beasts, a group of exorcists, vampires, a legacy to be protected, moral dilemmas, slice of life, school life, a guy similar to Suna, except he is tough from the get-go, suicides, effed up murders, hobos, a cute ghost puppy, cute nurse, visual kei villain, tsunderes, yandere girls, crazy strong cross-dressers, fondling, pandas, gore, twisted, POS villains, bunnies, cataclysms, people turning into demons, zombies, lessons in forgiveness and mercy. Does this really have it all? Yes it does. So I recommend this anime to any shonen anime fan, because you won't be disappointed with what you get. And number 1, Ajin, Demi-Human. Man, is this anime good. I really 100% recommend it to you all. You might not like the animation, but the story is good enough to take that #1 spot. Mysterious immortal humans known as Ajin first appeared 17 years ago in Africa. Upon their discovery, they were labeled as a threat to mankind, as they might use their powers for evil and were incapable of being destroyed. Since then, whenever an Ajin is found within society, they are to be arrested and taken into custody immediately. Studying hard to become a doctor, Kei Nagai is a high schooler who knows very little about Ajin, only having seen them appear in the news every now and then. Students are taught that these creatures are not considered to be human, but Kei doesn't pay much attention in class. As a result, his perilously little grasp on this subject proves to be completely irrelevant when he survives an accident that was supposed to claim his life, signaling his rebirth as an Ajin, and the start of his days of torment as well. However, as he finds himself alone on the run from the entire world, it's a series that isn't exactly fun to watch if you're not a fan of cruel experimentation, government conspiracies, and betrayals. Well, that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. What video should we do next? Tell me in the comments below. Who knows, you could be the reason for the next video. Don't forget to like the video, and more importantly, subscribe. See you in the next one.